Welcome back, YouTube. So a lot of you have questions as far as for where all this downward pressure is coming from with Dogecoin. What is Dogecoin's absolute bottom number, and what strategies you can use to play Dogecoin to your benefit, whether that you're short term or long term, and also where the root of this downward pressure is coming from. I'm going to answer all those questions in today's video. So normally in circumstances like this, I like to zoom out and take a look at the entire market and not just focus solely on Dogecoin. And if you do that, and whether that's the crypto market or the stock market, you're going to see that in pretty much overall, the market is red. And that's due for a number of reasons. I'm going to get into that a little later in the video. But my next step would be to look at Dogecoin and to see what limits are we testing? Have we broken through the resistance levels that have been charted out? And again, in case you don't know, those resistance levels are 16, 12, and 6. Now we are roughly at around 15, roughly like 15, 16 right now, which is where we've been hovering for most of the day. And this is pretty much the our historic low after our all-time high run. So this one is going to be the most difficult level to break through. Now, we are seeing a lot of downward pressure on there because there's massive sell-offs in the market and people are taking profits. Also, if we take a look here, we can see that no good crisis is going to go unused here. So we're going to see that short interest is also starting to peak back up again based off of this downward momentum that we're getting. Because remember, a lot of people want to see Dogecoin go to absolute zero. We've seen even some famous people, I believe even Jordan Belfort said that he was shorting Dogecoin. So a lot of people want to see this coin fail. So when we have this downward pressure in the market, shorts normally they'll come out from under their rock or their hiding place and try and take advantage of this to get these coins, these stocks down to favorable positions. But we are not worried about that because the Dogecoin community will prevail. And we're going to take a look here overall and come up with some strategies. Now, the first thing I would do if you are short term, right? And this can kind of play in that if you're long term, but if you are short term, again, those resistance levels are 16, 12, and 6. So if you are short term or if you are uncertain about the amount of money in or whether or not you should be averaging down, this is an easy way to know to mark your entries, because what happens is you can have the stock or the crypto be oversold and you look to see, okay, where is like the equilibrium price? And technically speaking, we hover around 25 cents. Like if we're technically in our consolidation period, Dogecoin has shown historically that the fair market value of the equilibrium typically likes to rest at around 25 cents. So if you are short term or you're looking to even average down, or if you're just afraid that, okay, I don't want to be in this situation for like another 12 months, should I buy in right now? What you're hoping right now is that we break past this 16, 15 level and come down and test that 12 cents level. Because historically, that 25 cents, from 12 cents to 25 cents, that's going to gain you roughly 100% profit. That's why I titled my video yesterday, Dogecoin is easy money, because at these levels here, you're seeing a lot of companies that have held up historically over the course of the year at their equilibrium prices. And you're seeing now due to liquidations in the market and people taking profit out of the market, you're seeing them being pushed down dramatically and overshooting their equilibrium price. So we're talking bare minimum, you're going to have at least to bounce back up to fair market value, which is the 25 cents level until we have our next bull run. So that's why I say that anything that you're buying now at these prices, that's why I consider it a steal or a fire sale. And for those of you who are new, you don't know where I'm getting these numbers from, I like to just kind of explain myself, because this could be the first video that you're seeing. So I don't want you to think I'm just pulling numbers randomly. Historically, after a bull run, and normally after an all-time high is set, cryptos, obviously they're very volatile, but they have a harsh correction of around 50 to 80%. And on the extreme side, normally it's about 90%. And this has been historic. You can even apply this to Bitcoin over the last decade, and you'll see that this holds up true. So I recommend that you just take a look at the charts and you can verify those numbers. So the 16 cents, which is where we are now, that has been determined by the market. So we overshoot from 25 when we go to 16. And at that point, investors, whether that be institutions or just retail, they decide that, okay, at that point it's being undervalued or it's oversold. So we're going to take a position, and typically we hold steady there at 16, and then we'll get a bounce right back to the lower 20s, and then we'll hover there until we go up and test that 30 to 33 range again. The 12 cents is going to be the extreme side of that 72, 74%, 74 cents correction that we have from our all-time high. So that's going to put us around that 12 cents range for us. The 6 cents is because that 12 cents from 16 to 12 cents, which is technically where we are now, you're going to see here we have this gap up. The gap ups, of course, when you're in a bull run, they're a beautiful thing. You have, you get that little moonshot and it looks amazing. However, on the flip side of that, when you're coming down to a correction, there is no support, absolutely zero support in that gap up area. So from the 12 cents, if we don't get the market support, they are saying that, okay, well, we believe that 12 cents is extremely oversold, extremely undervalued. We're going to take positions. Then, of course, we go down here to our next support line, which is pretty much the charts mirroring themselves. But you'll see we have this long drawn out where we pretty much held steady, which is around the 5 to 6 cents range. That would be our next level of support. And that's actually where I accumulated most of my coins, in the 5 to 6 cents range. Well, excuse me, the 2 to 5 cents range. But that is our next level of support. So if we get that downward pressure and we break through the floor where we are now, that's 16 cents, our next stop would be 12 cents. And if that doesn't hold up, then of course we're in that gap down range here. And of course, there is no support here at all. So either the market's going to step in, some whales are going to step in and be like, okay, I'm going to take a position here to kind of pump the brakes on that, or you can expect the next stop to be at around 6 cents. And I don't believe, unless we, outside like the market sell-offs, I don't believe that we'll get that low right now. I'll keep tracking it and let you guys know if something changes. But hopefully for me, I would like to see, and this is just from a percentage standpoint, because I do believe that Doge is oversold at this point dramatically. So I would like to see, even if it got down to 12 cents, that would be exciting for me. I said I wasn't going to purchase anything until we got in the teens, so I am. But the closer we get down to these last two floors, the more aggressive I'm going to be. Because again, short term, long term, however you want to play the coin, I'm not going to tell you. I'll let you decide that. But from 12 cents to 25 cents, that's pretty much like a sure thing, just looking at this chart here. So that's why it's easy money, and I consider this an absolute fire sale. Now, as far as to why this is happening, I do believe that we have some really big plays coming up in the stock market, and the crypto market is pretty much, it outperformed everyone's expectations this year. Robinhood was the #1 app on the App Store, a finance app for the first time in history. We've had the greatest influx of retail investors and retail money coming to the markets than history. We have more, I guess you can say, new money or amateur investors this year than at any point in time in history. The stock market, the crypto market, especially the crypto market, has boomed more than anyone could have predicted this year. So we have these hedge funds, and they are in these positions, or they're in these losing plays in the stock market. And overall, when they get ready to close out their positions for the year, their profits are much higher than they anticipated. The money that's in the stock market and in the crypto market, we have a higher number of retail investors, but that is not retail money. Most of that is still institutional money, and they control the prices of these coins and in the stock market as well. So when we say that, okay, well, there's the sell-offs or there's panic selling, remember that's not specifically just us. We've topped out at roughly around $3 trillion this year. 3.3 trillion, I believe we peaked at this year in the crypto market, and now we're down to around 2 trillion. I can assure you that the retail sector did not get $1 trillion richer. So when they pull this money out, they're taking profit, and this money is going to come back. But the smart money, as far as for the investors who are in these positions, I know it sucks now, but this is the time to be aggressive. This is your fire sale. And this is not just exclusively for Dogecoin. This is any of the coins that you're bullish on. These are the times that you lock in your positions so that you're not chasing bull runs and stressing out. I know psychologically it's easier to invest in a bull run, but this is the time right here to strengthen your position or to make your entry. My ideal goal for all of my subscribers, I would love for you guys to have a DCA somewhere below 16 cents. So on the next bull run, you'll see that when you have these patterns here on the chart where they're literally mirroring each other, like if you look here on a smaller scale, and you blow it up, these charts are almost identical. So maybe we can get a three-peat. Who knows? We'll see. We have a lot of catalysts going on in 2022, but you can see here where you have these higher lows and these multipliers. So our multiplier here, where we had the stagnation of around 5 cents, and then now we have that at around 20 to 25 cents up here. That's a 5x multiplier of the floor, basically, of one of the resistance points after the all-time high. What is that multiplier going to be on the next bull run? These are the questions that I ask myself to decide, okay, how aggressive I'm going to be with this entry, how confident I am. Do I have the conviction to stay in this play? These are the conversations that I have. By all means, it's one of the reasons why I use Coin Market on YouTube. That way everyone has access to it. You can go pull these charts and look at them for yourself. But if you have conviction in your play, and as we get ready to close out this year and we get ready to move into the new year, now is the time that you need to be going over your strategies for this new year and decide, okay, what money you're going to allocate, what money, if you imagine yourself at 2019, excuse me, 2020, and you were looking at your 2021 portfolio and you're saying, okay, what do I need to allocate my money? Knowing what you know now about how explosive these things can be and how everything can change relatively quickly, how aggressive you're going to be and what level of due diligence are you going to do to have conviction in your plays. That's what you need to be doing and building your strategy for 2022. And I wish that for all of you. That being said, Dogecoin is a fire sale right now. I'm buying. The closer we get to those levels, I will be certainly more aggressive. If we touch 12 cents, I am going crazy as far as for going in, and if we go below that again, because again, that is around my initial entry. That's why, again, that provides that level of comfort on these bull runs when you're able to get these prices. Because when you have these numbers and you have these bull runs where you're at like 50 cents, 60 cents, you're 10 times over your entry point. So those small fluctuations, that they don't really phase you that much. So, and I know that I got a lot of flack when I was making videos doing like due diligence on, excuse me, TA on Dogecoin, and everyone was like, "Oh, well, your DCA is so low, so it doesn't matter to you." Strategic entries and knowing how to manipulate your position to your advantage. This is where it comes from. And this is why I'm making this video, to give you guys all that opportunity so that when this thing is 5-10x higher, that it's not that big of a deal and that you can be in the same position that I was in. Hope you found value in this video. If you have not yet, please consider subscribing. You can always change your mind later, but if you want to hear more from me, consider subscribing and liking this video so that YouTube can share it with other people and we can grow together, not only in numbers, but also in knowledge. And also, definitely don't forget about BlockFi. I have a link in my description. If you open an account with them, you can get up to $250 and many of the top cryptos, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. I appreciate all of you. Let's talk about this in the comment section. Let me know what your plays are going to be for Dogecoin coming up, and what are your entries going to be if we do break through that resistance level. And let's come up with a solid plan together. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. And until next time.